Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Hello, everybody. Oh, no. How are you guys doing today? Okay. Hello, everybody. Oh, no. How are you? The volume was about to start like repeating back at me, so I had to mute it. Can you guys still hear me okay? Let's see. Hello from Liverpool, England. Hello, Sarah. This is your first live stream? Amazing. Hello from Pittsburgh. Hello, Lynetta. Okay, you guys can hear me. Okay, great. Hello from New Mexico. Hi, Kelly. I'm pinned down by a furry little goblin. I came over here and was trying to like set up, and he was already in the chair. And so I picked him up and put him on my lap thinking he'd only be there for a moment. And then this is, I think, where he has decided to call home. Let's see. Hi from France. Hello. Hello from New Jersey. Nashville. Is that okay? Let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to get a little bit closer. He called chair dibs. Yes, I think he did. Oh, San Jose. Oh my gosh, Ginny, it must be so nice there. It's all kind of rainy and moist. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but it's definitely something. Hello from Minneapolis. Is it Minneapolis? Michelle, hello. Oh my gosh. How are you guys doing? I'm going to have to immediately get some tea because my throat is parched. And I'm hoping I don't spill any on Archimedes, as I don't think he would like that very much. Oh, Riley is in Raleigh. How is it super green there yet? It's getting green here, but it's not all the way. We're not far away from it though. Tea and Archimedes, yes. Oh, you like the brooch. Did I talk about this brooch the last time I wore it? I'm not sure if I did. I have a little bit of a story about it. Hello from Biloxi. Hello, Maddie. Oh my gosh. Anytime I do this or I spin, I think of the movie Get Out. It's like, I think maybe everyone thinks that. It was lovely here a couple hours ago. Oh, okay. And now it's clouded up. So I woke up in the middle of the night to like a booming thunderstorm. So it was like a really loud, it sounded almost like lightning struck the house or something. And it was just kind of going, I think, all throughout the night. Let's see, we have rain where we are. Oh, that sounds so nice. So it's kind of like a perfect day to like be relaxed. I didn't drink anything before, so my voice was way too harsh. Okay, so I have a couple questions. What did you guys think of the coffering video? Or the like ceiling coffering? That was the last episode I put up. And I kind of hate that there was such a distance between putting that up and then doing a live stream, because I kind of wanted to chat with you guys about it and see what you thought. I'm actually in the room where that is happening, and I'm not finished with this room. I still have to like paint the walls and do things, but we had company coming, so I had to like very quickly like make it look like a cozy space. And I liked it so much. I'm like trying to think, for one, I'm thinking of ways that I can do it even better next time, and like where else I could do it, because I think it's really fun. It like instantly made this room feel like something fancy, and it totally didn't before. I'm trying to, so then let's see. Oh, Sarah, thank you. I'm beyond excited about this next one because so I mentioned it in the text, but I can kind of like talk to you about it a little bit. So what have I said I'm doing upstairs? I know I've mentioned that I'm doing something with plaster. Did I mention what I was doing? I'm trying to recall. I'm gonna have to get quite a few more sips of tea, I think. I've had a very interesting last few days, I should tell you that. And I'll get into everything. Ah, did the captive's brother like the ceiling? I actually think the captive is going to go visit his brother this summer and help him do the ceiling in one of the rooms of his house. So I guess he liked it. Okay, so let's talk about the episodes that are coming, because so this was my original plan. I'll tell you what the original plan was. I'm doing a plaster project upstairs of something that I thought was gone. I wasn't sure if it was ever there, and it turned out it was. So my initial thought was I'm going to do a big half of it, and then that is going to go like public. And then I was like, the other half will be like a Patreon video. And then once it was all done, I realized it took 3 months to do. And I started editing the footage together, and I was like, oh, there's too much footage here. But at the same time, if you leave anything out, it's a useless video. Like, you wouldn't be able to like actually like replicate it. So once I started editing, I was like, okay, this actually it's more digestible as 3 episodes. Otherwise, you'll just be sitting there and you might get bored. So what I ended up planning is you guys are going to get an extra bonus episode next month. So there is going to be the kind of the beginning stage of this project is going to go up, I think on, is it Tuesday? Today's Sunday, Monday. It should go up Tuesday. And then it might take me a couple days to completely wrap up the 2nd episode. That's going to go out. And then a couple days after that, the final episode will go out, and you get to see like this whole thing. And then probably like the week after or something like that, I'm going to post a public video that just kind of like glosses through everything kind of quickly. But it should be so fun. I don't want to like hype it up or anything, but it just came out super duper neat. I keep going up there and like I just keep looking at it. The room isn't even finished, but like this one element just came out really awesome. I love working with plaster. It turns out that's a really, really fun medium that I haven't really delved into before. 3 episodes. It's going to be a lot of episodes, and they're fun episodes. Like if you watch them back to back, it might be a lot, but I think they're all really interesting, and they cover really important elements of the project. Okay, I don't want to give away too much. Do you guys have any questions before I continue? Because I'm very happy to answer questions today. I'm feeling almost, well, he's actually much more relaxed than I think anybody right now. Isn't he just the cutest? Oh, you like the chair? Paige, I got this on Facebook Marketplace, which I just love. And it was in somebody's house. There's a pair of them. So the other chair is right over there. And they're gigantic. So I'm super tall, and it like actually it's able to like make me look smaller. What color are you thinking for the room you're in now? Is it Tasia? That's been, what do you guys think? I'm actually not entirely sure. And I'm open to suggestions. I'm going to do some sort of like a simple pattern on the walls, kind of like the mountain house, but if you guys have any suggestions. Okay. Okay, do I want to show my daily routine one day? Well, Chaz, the only issue with that is it's different every single day. Like I'm doing something different, and I don't know. It might not be that interesting. I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Oh wait, hold on. Did you clean them? If so, how? The chairs? They're actually not old chairs. So, I mean, I think we like vacuumed them and things, but they came from somebody's house. I don't even know the story, but it was somebody that was just trying to get rid of them. And so we nabbed them up, but they're not even very old. Did I end up repainting the upstairs? Okay. So we lost footage. I painted the room that I'm working on with the plaster, and we sadly lost 2 months worth of work, the footage of that. And so I just went back up to the room and I painted the whole room white, everything. So now I have to paint it again. So it just is, I mean, it is what it is. It was painful. I did like record myself painting it all white again, which was just a tiny bit heartbreaking, but it'll be nice. And honestly, what I'm finding is when I mess up something or something doesn't go right, The second attempt, I'm always way happier with. So I'll tell you, it's going to be in the episode anyway. But there was a decorative element to what I was doing, and I had to bake it first because I did like a molding thing, and I burned it so bad. It literally puffed up. Polymer clay like puffs up like a marshmallow if you overheat it. And it was like 2 days worth of work, and it was destroyed. And I was really upset for a second. And then I just like went, I mean, it was completely my fault. And then I went upstairs and I did another one. And the second one came out like way better than the first one. And then I have another story of second attempts. Is my skirt embroidered? It looks so, thank you so much. I need to make this skirt as an episode because it's a vintage skirt. And I don't know, there's no label on it. There's nothing I can find. I don't know if it was made at home by somebody. It is the most wonderful skirt. It matches with almost anything you wear with it. You can wear pink with it, turquoise with it. For some reason, it just works all over the place. And it fits really nice. And I think it's a really simple pattern. So I think I might actually make an episode out of that. Oh, Emmy, thank you so much. I'm a little burnt out on being made up. I'll tell you why. Okay, so there's 3 episodes you guys are getting, and then there's this 4th public episode. And obviously all the footage got done. Like I finished the project this month. It all came together. I started weaving all the episodes together in Final Cut. And then I realized, okay, so there are 4 total episodes here. And I'm going to have to film like the part where I'm like sitting down talking about each step. So there's 4 episodes worth of talking points. That's what I call them when we sit down and I record all of that. So not yesterday, but the day before, I had built up like a lot of anxiety about doing this because I've never done that many episodes in like just one shot. And what happened? Something went wrong with the camera, and we'd been filming the whole time and none of the footage was usable. And we normally check, but we just didn't, and it just didn't work out. And hours and hours. It was like a whole day of filming that was no good. And so I was sad. And then the next day, I got all made up again, and we just filmed all of it again. The only thing I will tell you is, so the way I do talking points is I write down, as I'm editing the video in Final Cut, I make notes of like, okay, you need to talk about this, you need to talk about that. And so I create like a list of usually like around like 11 to 12 talking points per episode. And so anyway, I don't memorize those things. I just, when it's time that we're doing it, I read them, I try to think of the best way to say them, and then I do that. But it takes a lot of time to do that. So considering I had just done all of it the day before, for some reason it kind of stuck with me. And the next day that we filmed, it just went so much faster because I was just like, I remembered what I was saying. And it was wonderful. And the footage is prettier. And we have pets in the footage, which is always wonderful. I'm also suspecting supernatural interferences. I hope not. That would be terrible if they were trying to like sabotage. I wouldn't think so, but maybe. Okay, let's see, hold on. Would you ever film a beginner sewing video? I would love to do that. What would be, when you say beginner, do you mean like learning how to fiddle with a sewing machine or like all the basic steps? I'm trying to think of how I learned because I learned very slowly. Let's see. At least there's a silver lining. Exactly. There usually is. Sometimes it's just really hard to see. Okay. Tyler, is it Tyler? I love that your teacup matches your outfit. That is not an accident. I actually went through the house and I was like, which one is going to go with this? Like a long shirt or a simple dress. I really like that idea. I've been desperate. So the whole reason I'm up in this room doing this plaster project and doing this painting thing is because this is going to be my sewing craft room. And so as soon as I have it done, which I'm not far away, I'm sort of, that's what I want to start being able to do. Like in a nice, pretty, because it's light colored, it's going to be really like airy and cheerful looking in there. Oh my God. The light fixture that I got for that room. I don't want to say I robbed somebody, but like, okay. So there's something called a gasolier. Before I moved to this house, I'd never heard, I didn't know anything about this. But the old houses, they had gas that they like lit lamps with all over the place. And when they switched over to electricity, they were like mixing the two. Tons of houses burned down. And so anyway, now you just don't have like gas light fixtures ever. But to have them look right in this house, it looks right to have a gasolier. And basically what it is, instead of like a chain, it's like a pipe that goes up to the ceiling. And they are horrendously expensive. Like if you ever find one with a pipe and it's like cheap, buy it, because they are just unbelievably pricey. And so anyway, I needed one for this room. And I started scouring Facebook Marketplace because that's like become my favorite for finding deals and like looking for kind of really specific things. So I found one and I got it for so cheap. And I was all excited about it. The captive and I drove like 4 hours to go get it. Came back, it was in a box, I didn't look at it. Once we opened it up, I was like, oh my God, this is older and like way, way cooler than I thought it was. So wait till you guys see, it's going to be in the episode, the final episode of like the big reveal of what the plaster project looked like. And then in the next, so let's see. So June's episode, so we're going into May. So the May episode will be the plaster project. And then June is going to be me painting the room. And in that episode, I will probably feature the like chandelier and like how we got it. But it's amazing. It's just about the neatest thing. I don't think there's anything I'm as excited about at the moment because it's not installed yet. And I can't wait to see what it's going to look like. Let's see. I often carry dishes around as accessories. That's not a bad idea. Chaz says one project with stained glass. I so want to do that, but I want to do it like really good, kind of like the Winchester Mystery House. They have all that like it's like beveled stained glass. It looks so fancy. Okay. Will more wallpaper be available? So I'm not sure about what so things are in the works for the mermaid wallpaper that I've been planning on doing in that front room that I designed. And for the owl paper, I don't know what I'm thinking quite yet on that. It was so expensive to make. It was just like, I couldn't, well, they didn't, I talked about this. I had thought it was going to be a certain like really inexpensive price at the outset. And then towards the end, I was informed that the technique that was going to be done was so much more expensive. And I was like, which by the way, we have just sent out, or actually, no, they're just all boxed up. They're going out. The winners of the doll, like the voodoo doll contest, their papers are all packaged up and going out this week. And I'm so excited. And I had just enough of the paper to go out. So I'm pretty much out of it myself. But I will tell you, that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do was picking winners from that contest because everyone's were so amazing. I have one right here. A wonderful patron, her name is Sherry Pottinger. She made a Biggles and he's so cute. And he came a little bit later, but he's just about the cutest thing ever. And he just like hangs out in this room with us. Okay, oh, let me see. What did Emmy ask? So stained glass is, I plan on that for sure. And let's see, would you ever, Christinify, oh, a vintage picnic basket? I've done it, but I would absolutely love to do it again. I did it for, I have that gramophone picnic basket, and it was kind of tattered when I got it. And so I like made custom napkins for it and did a whole bunch of other stuff. But I'd be happy to do that again. Okay, I should build a display cabinet for all my cool dolls. I love that idea. So currently I've got a lot of the dolls resting in a casket, literally, until I get things cleared out and I can actually like photograph them like I'm planning. But you'll know, like if you are somebody who submitted a doll, it is very happily resting in a like an antique casket right now. And soon will be, I like the idea of a glass display because I've kind of peppered them around the house. Like, let's see, any recent estate sales? No, I don't think I've gone to a single estate sale since I moved here. And I used to go to ones in California all the time. Okay, do I have any plans for anything on the outside of the house? Ginny, it's so funny you ask that. I just had a landscaper here, I think last week, and we were talking about kind of just basically reworking the landscaping of the house because it's not really been kept very organized. And so the roof is happening. I'm still looking for a painter. I thought I had a painter, and now I'm still looking for a painter to paint like the trim on the house. So landscaping, the roof, and then if the paint gets done, the house is going to be looking really impressive. I did do something terrible, and I feel horrible about it, but it had to be done. There were 2 trees in front blocking the view of the house that have been there. I mean, they were old trees. They'd been here a lot. They kind of looked a little sickly. They weren't the prettiest trees. I don't want to like, obviously, bad talk them. But I don't like cutting down trees. I really do everything I can not to do that. I even called a place in Syracuse to ask if they could excavate and move the trees, but they said they were too big. But we have a tree guy and he cut them down and it looks so much better, but I feel so guilty about that. There's a bonus is the tree, the one he cut down has really beautiful wood and he cut it into sections. And so the sections are all over here. We're going to have somebody come and mill them, and I'm going to be able to make something with this wood, so it's not going to waste or anything. Don't throw shade on the trees. That's a funny pun. I like that. Okay, tell us about that large lamp in the window. Okay, so this lamp, are we talking about the big green one? It's actually like a 70s, I would guess, lamp. And then I just plucked like a lampshade, and for some reason it just works together, and I think it looks so happy. Wood butcher blocks, rolling pins. I didn't think about that, but there's plenty of that wood for me to do things like that. I want to count the rings on it. I haven't done that yet to see how old it was. They shouldn't have let big giant trees. You don't let giant trees grow up right in front of your house if your house is kind of meant to be seen from a little bit further away. When we first moved in, there was a gigantic tree like growing up right in front of the door of the house. And so that had to go. Oh, I think one of the angry little mops on the floor just growled in his sleep. We've got, by the way, we've got Buttons here, Gertie here, and Archimedes just looks so content right now. He's like a puddle of like vanilla pudding right now. One of those engraved rolling pins. I love that idea. There is so much of that wood. I could do a ton of things. And I really like the rolling pin idea. You do have to use a lathe, and I'm terrified of them. Those are like they like spin really fast. And I think I talked about this, but I like looked up like an industrial lathe accident once, and it scarred me for life, I think. Ooh, what about a witch garden? I love that idea. We do have some interesting plans for the back, and I think that would be a really fun thing to tackle. Out of curiosity, once I'm done with these things, what are you guys most interested in seeing? I should do a poll, but there's dressmaking, there's cake, like desserts. I haven't done desserts. I love doing desserts, and until the kitchen is done, like I can still do them, but it's just a lot more difficult. So there's cake baking, monster house. I want to do a monster house on this house. I shouldn't give things away, but I have a plan, and I'm gonna find out if I can do it this year, and if I can't, I'm gonna build the pieces and then it's gonna go out next year. But I have a design in my mind of exactly what it's gonna look like, and it's going to be like an evolved, superior version to like anything I've done before. A hair tutorial. Oh my gosh, I'm really struggling. A dressmaking. I love dressmaking. So dressmaking is happening in that room as soon as I'm done. New makeup beauty. Do you guys want another decanting video by any chance? Because I'll tell you something. I shouldn't give this away. I found like the most beautiful purse. It's like an old lady wicker purse. But it's brand new, meaning it's from like the 50s or 60s and nobody ever used it. It must have like sat in a closet. And it's so beautiful that I actually want to decant all of my favorite purse items into little gold cases. So like my tissues, I've actually already started ordering things. I want to figure out a better way to transfer lipstick because I have a favorite lipstick and I have a favorite tube. And I need to figure out like an even cleaner way of transferring one to the next. And so everything, like with anything that would go in a purse, like your like pens, notepads, like things to hold your cards, everything I want to like have just like be really elegant and pretty. Do you guys have any interest in me doing a video like that? I'm doing it anyway, so I just might as well ask. I'm gonna need more tea. This is peach tea, by the way. Oh, look who's so happy. Which, by the way, this teapot, I'm like hiding a Alexa that's behind me. She might light up, but anyway, that's why the teapot's right there. Restoration videos. Okay, well, if you like restoration, that's happening. A parasol. I love parasols. I would love to do another one of those too. Let's see. That would be nice to see what's in your purse. See, that was my thinking was, oh, Chunk. Oh, he's had his fill. Goodbye. Okay, so now I can actually move. So let me tell you something funny. So I came down here, and I usually like to get in the chair maybe like 40 minutes before a live stream starts, just so I can like make sure everything's looking right, and then I don't move. And so I came down, and he was sitting in the chair, and he was so happy that I was like, I don't want to like upset him. And so I picked him up and put him in my lap, and I haven't actually been able to move for like over an hour. So, oh my God, I can't get my foot out. I wasn't even able to put my shoe on. Okay. I didn't realize my leg was asleep. Oh, I can get comfortable now. Okay, what were we talking about? Let's make spooky brooches. I want to learn how to do, is it smelting? Like, I want to design something and like figure out a way to like pour metal without like poisoning myself or permanently maiming myself in some way. Anything bat, I like that. Okay, let's mix. Model the skirt, please. I'm not sure if I can, the focus might be off, but I'll see if I can. So see how it's got like a, I don't know, it's just so pretty. And like I said, it goes with everything. Oh, a train travel case refurbish. I love that. There's so many things. I kind of go through phases, and sometimes I feel a little overwhelmed with like, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do this. And right now, I'm just excited about all of the different things because the plaster is done and the next part is coming up and it's kind of not going to take as long. I'm going to be a little bit more ahead than I typically am. And so that gives me some more free time to like do even more stuff. and I'm really jazzed about it. I'm making an urn. Should I tell you guys that? I don't know when that episode will be coming out, but a friend of mine lost her kitty, and then I'm making two actually, but that's actually going to be happening very soon. I'm going to be like actually creating one, and it's going to be really, really neat because it's not going to be like any urn you've ever seen before. Where do I buy my clothes? Honestly, the very best place is Etsy. They're expensive. I would say that's the only drawback to Etsy is like eBay, you can get way better deals on because people are like, here's a thing, here's a thing. And sometimes you get something really great. And Etsy, I feel like is like the sellers kind of know a lot more about like what they're selling. And you can kind of get usually like better stuff there. But that's what I like to do is Etsy. Let's see, I'm currently making a wooden doll house. Ooh, modeled off your current house. Oh my gosh. Veronica, send me pictures. It's tedious woodwork. I want to see that. I think I've mentioned I want to make like a model of this house and have it in the attic, kind of like Beetlejuice. I think that would be amazingly fun. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Face depending on. Ooh. Ooh, DKN. I want to see what that looks like. Would I ever do enameling? Are you talking about like wood enameling? Am I thinking of the right thing? Or you do, I can't think of the word of that when you see like, they've got like intricate wood layers happening. There's a word for that and I just can't think of what it is. Am I excited for the Beetlejuice sequel? I am so excited for that Beetlejuice sequel. I try not to get too like hyped up because then you can end up obviously being let down, but it's going to be amazing. I figure if he's doing it, he's got a good enough idea. Inlay, that's the word. I knew there was a word, I just couldn't think of it. Should we talk about books? I found a really great book, and half of you will probably have already read it. That's so refreshing. I'm drinking, it's peach tea by Harney and Sons, and it's decaf, and it's wonderful. Okay, so the book I'm listening to, so I generally tend not to listen to fiction too much, but I say I'm reading a book, but I'm listening to a book while I work on things. And it's called Children. Let me make sure I've got this right. I have to go into Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I might be misspelling that or mispronouncing that, but he's got 3 books in this series that I know about. And the first one is Children of Time. The second one is Children of Ruin, which is what I'm on right now. It's so good. So if you're into like space exploration and science fiction like that, like I'm not into Star Wars kind of science fiction. There's something kind of, I think a little bit like scarier and like more serious. And so that's the kind of like Prometheus is like the pinnacle of what I'm into. I love anything having to do with like exploring like the universe or the solar system. And I love like discovering things, and I love horror, like terrible things happening. And so the first book, I was telling my mom this, the book Children of Time, it's a stressful story most of the way through, but it's great. And then I don't want to say anything about it if you haven't read it, but you will not be sorry. I cannot imagine anyone not liking the story. And so then I found out that there was like a sequel. And I started listening to that and I was like, oh, this is so much less stressful than the first one. And then all of a sudden that changes and it's so much more stressful than the first one, but it's awesome. I literally was just telling my mom all about this because I'm like trying to like peer pressure her into reading these. Doesn't it have spiders? I don't want to say. It might. Let's see. Did you know that Star Wars was actually based on the Emerald Tablets? I don't know what the Emerald Tablets are. I would love to do bookbinding. I would want to do like the Hocus Pocus book, but like my own kind of like spin on it. A movie night. I like that idea. Have we not done a Clue movie night yet? What was the last one we did? My gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I know we did one. If we do the Clue movie night, my friend Nina Kate, she has a company called Jane Doe Latex, and she made me a latex version of the maid's costume, Yvette. And so if we do like the Clue live stream, I'm gonna be dressed in like this really skimpy, like hysterical, awesome little outfit. So I'll be very uncomfortable too because it's latex and I'll be very sticky. We did Clue, right? Did we? I'm gonna be so mad. You've done Clue. How did we do Clue and I didn't wear that outfit? I think my mind gets so wrapped up in like what I'm currently working on that I forget anything. I was actually just having a thing where I was like, I don't know. I think you go through like periods of time when you do stuff like this. Sometimes you feel really like confident about what you do, and other times you kind of feel like, am I even doing anything? I don't know. Is any of this stuff even that great? Like, I think, and kind of one of the, like, I think just today, maybe I was having a moment of like trying to think of like what I had done. I think when you see what goes into things, it's slightly less, it's that sandwich effect I think I've talked about before. I see how everything comes together and I see how hard it is, and I also see any like flaws. And so nothing ever seems that perfect to me. But I try to make it look perfect for you guys. Let's see. How do I stay in questions are great, by the way. How do I stay inspired to start a project? The curiosity. I would say I have like my strongest trait is like I want to know things. And so that drives, it's like the driving force behind. So like let's say Patreon went away and my audience went away and nobody was interested. I would still be doing stuff if I could because I love doing it. I get really fascinated by specific things and I want to learn everything I can about it. And it's worth all of the frustration and drama that comes along with trying to figure these things out because that's sort of, it just comes along with it. You get really upset, things go wrong. But solving like all of the like mysteries or figuring out all the mysteries going in, it's just worth it. So that's sort of the thing that pushes me forward. Let's see. You can never watch Clue too many times. I agree with that. Let's see. Did you see the trailer for the new Jim Henson documentary? I don't think I did. Okay. Ooh, let me get another sip. So I know everybody loves hearing about other people's medical drama. So I'm going to tell you something kind of funny that has happened to me in the last 2 weeks. I have never in my life had like any issues with my ears. I've never known, I don't even know how ears work, or I didn't until this happened. You have a eustachian tube, which is like the tube that goes from like your throat up to your ear. And when you pop your ears, it's like letting air in. And so anyway, if something happens, if you have like allergies, that eustachian tube can swell and it traps like fluid like behind. Like I thought your ear like went all the way in. I didn't know that it like was sealed with like a drum basically. And so anyway, something has happened. I'm having allergies and this thing has swelled shut, and what it's doing is it's causing like my hearing is bizarre. And so I went to the doctor. I went to the doctor twice. And she's like, oh yeah, I can see that. You just need to take like Zyrtec and it'll take like a couple weeks to like go away. But if you've never had any issue with like your ears or hearing, there's no pain. It doesn't hurt at all. But it's creating like an echo of everything I say and hear in this ear. And it is it is horrible, and it's so hard to ignore, but it's going to go away and everything will be fine. But like I said, who doesn't like hearing about other people's medical drama? Okay, please do a Clue movie night. It's my all-time favorite. I'm going to have to look and see if I did it. Maybe I did do it. That's uncomfortable. I know, it's miserable. But the nice thing, there's a silver lining. I didn't know how ears worked, and now I sort of do. Very vaguely. But yeah. Will I be showing off the coffered ceiling room? I'll decorate it, absolutely. Did I see color suggestions for this room? I have a few ideas. I toyed with the idea of like kind of replicating what I had in the mountain house in the living room in there. Because I've got it, it feels very similar to that room in here now. Did we watch the eclipse? 100%. Was that within this last month? This has been a long month. Yes, we actually drove. We were able to drive, I think like an hour or two into the center of where it was going to hit. And we just ended up like in the woods. And there was like a few other vehicles around, but no people were around us. And we just watched it happen. And it happened somehow slower than I expected and faster at the same time, because we watched it literally go from being full on daytime to looking like it was, I wouldn't quite say the middle of the night, but really close. Like it was so dark, but on either side, far off in the distance, you could kind of see that there was light over there. It was amazing. I've never witnessed that before. So I took like silly pictures on my phone. I think Grant wanted to do like a nice camera. I was like, everyone's going to take such amazing pictures of this. It's like, I just want to like enjoy it. Or maybe maybe he said that to me. I don't remember. Let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. It was on April 18th. Okay. Wow. Oh, April 8th. I was like, it feels like it was a long time ago now. Doing that plaster job took I mean, they all do. I always think, what was I just talking about with somebody? Of anything I'm good at doing, the one thing I'm horrible at doing is understanding how long things will take. So anything that I'm like, I'm going to do that, it's going to take 2 days. It never does. It always takes like so much more time than I expect. Did you guys watch Baby Reindeer on Netflix? We just watched like the whole thing in like 2 nights. It was totally, it's like, do you ever watch a show where you're like, it's like the cringe is making you like want to crawl out of your skin? But it was awesome. Old Forge for the eclipse. Leslie, that's where we kind of went, sort of over in that direction. I loved the downstairs bedroom in the mountain house, like being in a chocolate box. Oh, Debbie, I would love to recreate that. I did like it was like a kind of a milk chocolate colored walls and then dark chocolate like diamond bars. That was a fun room. I love that house. I think so. I know I've mentioned before, we're planning on going and staying in probably maybe even California for a bit in winter. And we're still like setting up somebody actually going to be able to come here and like take care of the house. And I was thinking of like maybe even staying in the mountain house for a little bit, maybe doing a project or something. I've been wanting to go back there and repaint the kitchen floor for the people who own it now, because they run it as an Airbnb, and the kitchen floor, I painted it. And so it takes a beating and it kind of needs to be repainted every so often. Sarah, I volunteer as tribute. Sarah, you're hired. How do I choose the colors for the house? Are we talking about the inside or the outside? The inside, I like a lot of variety. I like, because, you know, we're like, everybody has moods that go all over the place. Sometimes I feel like this room is pretty dark, and I like the feeling of being like a little chipmunk in like a hole or something. And then sometimes you want to be in like a lovely, like really light pastel room. And so I just try to mix up every room I tackle to be something kind of totally different. Okay, let's, oh, the diamond pattern. Oh, thank you. Let's see, will I do any, there's so much more painting that I will be doing. Okay, what are my plans for the coach house? I think I've got my plate full with so many things. I'm not sure. We've got some raccoons living there. We have cameras in there, and you just see them like waddling around. And I've been putting out cat food for like strays every single night for several months. And these raccoons went from looking, I mentioned this, when I lived in California, we had raccoons in the mountains, and they were like beefy Disney raccoons. Like they were, their coats looked beautiful. Everything about them was just gorgeous. And when we moved here, the raccoons that showed up looked like they were going to mug you. Like they looked greasy and like they were going to like pull out like a switchblade or something and like greased back hair or something. Anyway, so I've been leaving out all of this cat food. They're not skinny anymore. They must be these raccoons because now you can see them in the carriage house and they're just waddling around and it is just the best thing ever. We're probably just going to end up with like a carriage house filled with diabetic raccoons. Is there a story about the gold lamp? Wait, hold on. Beautiful globe lamp. Which one are we talking about? There's this one that I love so much. I got it on eBay. I think I got it on eBay maybe like 6 years ago or something. I've never seen another one come up. If anyone ever sees one of these come up, please let me know. Or buy it for yourself and enjoy it. It's one of my very favorites. And I picked it up today to like sort of set up in here. And I dropped it on the floor. And all of the little glass things just popped out of it. And the captive took it upstairs and like fixed it good as new. He's very handy. Oh, the one in the window to the left. So that one, it's just a lamp that I got. It doesn't mean it's like old, but I think I just got it at an antique shop. And I don't want to say any like thing disparaging about it, but it's probably like my least favorite. I like this one. Chunk. Maybe he's not coming because I'm calling him Chunk. Hey boy. He's wandering around my feet. I'm being kind of like circled around like a shark. Do I have flicker bulbs in them? Yes. And I wish you could slow, so I don't have the brand. Remember how I was talking all that trash on LED lights and that I only like incandescent? Well, getting incandescent is getting harder and harder. And lo and behold, we found the light bulb. Okay, hold on. I don't know if the captive's listening, but if he is, can you go get me the package of what those light bulbs are? Because I want to see, I would love to share with you what these light bulbs are. They are the first LED light I've ever seen that has like a buttery, nice yellow color. They're dimmable. So they kind of have all of the things that you want in an incandescent, only they don't heat up and they don't cause all sorts of problems. Like they're not going to burn down your house. I can hear him moving. He's going to go find it. Oh, I'm so excited for you guys to know about these. I actually didn't tell you sooner because I've been testing them, trying to like make sure like so far we have not had a single one die. Occasionally they might flicker a touch, but you know how like, so another big problem with like LEDs is if you film in slow motion, he's really going for it. Anyhow, these don't do that. So you can film in slow motion with these. So they're kind of just amazing. He's getting them. I can hear him moving about. So the clock that was just going off, that is, okay, hold on one second. I'm going to transition the screen and I will be right back. I'm back. Okay, so you can order these online. It's called Light History, like L-I-T-E, History. Benefits of LED bulb without vintage loss. Oddly worded. Okay, let me open these up so you can actually see what they look like. A most helpful captive. He really is. Okay, this isn't helpful because he put old incandescent bulbs in here once he used up all the ones from the box. But they look like this. I will turn it like this so you can see. And if you want to like zoom in and like take a screenshot. So that's that. I will hold it like this so you can see like the skew if you want to get in there and look at that. I think you can get them on Amazon and they're just amazing. So that was a big problem I was really worried about, and it seems to be solved. So yay, and thank you to the captive for going and getting those. Check out pink salt bulb. What's that? I love pink, like soft pink light bulbs. And I was actually wondering if I could like dip these in like a clear sort of paint or something like that, like a heat resistant paint that would like tint them just a touch with pink. It would be so pretty. The most helpful captive. He really honestly is. He's very wonderful. Is there, okay, let's see. Oh, they're actually made out of pink Himalayan salt. I'm not sure if I know about that. Okay, let me think. Have I gone through? I might be going on a trip. I should tell you about that. So my mom and I might be going on a trip to Germany because I'm going to have like a little window period of time. And my mom and I were talking and we loved the trip that we did elsewhere. And I was like, let's go look at like German castles and like maybe like stay at like some German chateaus or something. Because I kind of want to go to the Black Forest and see like where all the clocks are made. If you can even do that, I'm not sure. But I think that's what we're thinking. And if that does work out, I'm going to film it. And like, I will just make it like as a bonus, like public episode. And it should be fun. Come to France. I want to come to France. Am I welcome in France if I don't speak French? I really would love to go see Versailles. I think that sounds really neat to me. And I know there's tons of like chateau hotels or like bed and breakfast that you can stay in. And that's my very favorite. So if I am welcome in France, I will happily come to France. Let's see. Black Forest. Anything from the Black Forest is so beautiful. I'll give you my house. That won't be necessary. It's very generous though. I'm trying to think. Okay, so I think I've covered all of those things that I wanted to chat about. We're going on a trip, all of the fun episode stuff. There are so many things coming. So I know, hopefully, like, I don't see anything like holding that up, but it does seem like the roof is happening next month. But I always like, anytime it's in somebody else's hands, it can always like change. So if that does work out, there's just like going to be like episodes lined up. There's so many to do because we're going to film. Have I talked about what I'm doing with the roof? So they're restoring all the tile, the slate. They're not replacing it. They're basically going through and like mending anything that's like wrong. And there are these beautiful, like ornate wood pieces that have long since gone from the house. That chunks and pieces of them were down in the basement. And I went and got them. And we're like, the captive and I are actually going to be making these and having, so when the roof is done, these will be going back out on the house for the first time in 100 years, I would guess. I'm sure they've been off the house for probably that long. And it's going to be neat. And you guys, I'll make episodes of all of it so you get to see. We're going to get like a drone license and like do like actual like cool footage. And it should be really fun. We had somebody come out with a drone and like look at the roof and it looked so icky. So it'll be so nice to see that get like a nice fresh makeover. Oh, come and see Lisbon. If anyone has suggestions for where we should go, please leave them in the comments of this live stream, and I will like look through and see if there isn't anything that we can't make it to. Okay, so what is today? Today's Sunday. I'm going to be editing all day tomorrow and wrapping this up, and then you guys are going to get this. So the first episode is totally interesting. I don't know if it's like life-changing or anything. The next episode that's coming just a few days after that is really, really great. And then the last one is like obviously the best one. And that's going to be coming probably, I don't know, like a week into next month. But you won't be waiting long. And then I've got some other plans for next month, so I don't want to say anything yet. But until then, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm covered in cat hair, but it was a really good time. I will see you again very soon, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's it. That's all I've got. Okay. Have a great night. I'll see you guys again soon.